Hello, guys, and welcome to an episode of Steve Proctor's Unedited Run Chat. I said an episode because I've just realised I can't remember how many episodes we've done that. So, yeah, I think welcome to an episode. It's been a while since we've done one. So, how's things been? Everything all right?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, a few more things returned since we last spoke.
Oh, yes,
Happened.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what's your favourite thing that's returned? I think there's quite a few that has returned.
Well, the number one has to be drinking coffee with friends at parkrun again.
Absolutely. That'd be my number one. But then the trouble is, I haven't done a parkrun yet.
No.
No, I think certainly the social bit of it, and like I said, I was one of these who was a bit, is it a bit too soon? But actually, you know what? I've come around to the idea. It's one of these where it's just, COVID cases aren't rising as much as I thought they would. In fact, they're probably going the other way from what I read. But yeah, I mean, obviously parkrun has returned in terms of running and the social side of things. I certainly know that you and your squad have been putting in some times.
Yeah, it's nice to have something that we've been doing time trials and stuff on our own or with handfuls, but when you've got a lot more people around, it gives you a lot more encouragement. So yeah, it's nice to do it more officially and just get back to it. It's been missed for such a long time.
It certainly has. I think, like I said, just popping up around the country, there's just loads of things that have been coming up. I mean, was it Emma Steptoe? She's doing her local ones again, which I mean, she's just absolutely buzzing that park runs are back. I said fly 5Ks. I mean, all it is just park runs. So they're basically registering their fly 5K time as a park run, which is fantastic. Like I said, Bushy Park Run is stacked again. There's some fast times coming out all rounds. I mean, for you guys, was it you? I mean, you're low 16s again, aren't you? So is it is it very low 16s?
16, 12 I'm chipped down to now. So I just keep chipping away. Everyone seems to be like chipping seconds here and there off, some a lot of minutes even, but it's helping having the regular competition to keep chipping away seconds. Which
it's not going to be long before you're there's a couple of young guys. Well, I say young guys, probably a few of them are older than me, but I think that there's one young guy that's really nipping at your heels, but then also there's Danny Smith. He's running some phenomenal times at the moment.
Yeah, and we've all been training together, which has been good on different days and longer runs and stuff. So it does make all the difference. I was doing a few post-marathon long runs on my own and I just got absolutely fed up of them. So I thought I need some company for these, and the time just goes so much better when you got people to run with.
Yeah, and pace it doesn't matter, does it?
No.
It's one of these where these long runs. I mean, you can't underestimate just literally doing 18-mile, however long the distance is, 18-mile with a couple of friends, just chatting a load of crap. And you can just literally do 18 miles like that, can't you? It's just one of these where...
I mean, it gets you out of bed at silly o'clock. I've been getting up to quarter to 6 on a Sunday. Where you just keep putting it off till as late as you could to get it done. But when you got to meet people at a certain place, you've got to get yourself down there.
It's just one of these where I mean, I'm still not in a group at the moment, if that makes sense. I mean, it won't be long before I am. I think, to be honest, I'm not sure what the session is at Striders tomorrow. I was considering going tomorrow, which would be a step forward. Certainly a step forward in quality. Let's put it that way. I think
it's been good watching your comeback stuff, and you soon knocked out a good 800 time there with very little speed work. So I think you can soon.
I was on my arse, mate. I was absolutely on my arse. It was one I said in the episode, I was just so naive in the fact that I genuinely said to someone, anywhere between 210 and 215 would be great. I was just like, I can't believe how much I've lost it. I mean, it totally makes sense. Look, I've done absolutely no training around it, but it's just like flipping heck. I mean, the guy who won it done around about 2:14, something like that. And it was a time I wasn't even thinking about all these years ago. It was one of these where I could just turn up and do it, which is, sounds arrogant, but it's just, it's not really, is it? It's just one of these where if you're consistent training doing that,
you've got to do some real sharp, short, sharp stuff to knock a good 800 time out. If not, it will destroy you with quite a few meters to go.
Well, talking about destroying, I ended up doing a leg of the 4x4 as well. I was good for 300. I was very, very good for 300, and then all of a sudden, I met my mate Lactic again, and it was the old hammies weren't having it. Let's put it that way.
You're back like you've smoked 40 fags to your lungs, it destroys them.
Yeah, and then you know what happens because you're coughing all the time. You know what happened. I getting the looks, didn't I?
You got COVID, yeah.
Oh, I got the looks, and I was just like, I'll give over. I'm on my ass. Oh, it's just but no, like I said, I really enjoyed the racing again, and I think it's very clear that you and your group have enjoyed being together again. I think, well, one, you said you've got your Mondays back because you'd have to plan several bloody sessions going everywhere, but you've got one big group on the Tuesday now.
Yeah, that's right. It's all back to how it was. So it's 60, 70 plus people all back together running, which is nice. The track sessions are all good, especially in the summer holidays. We've got all ages on there. The kids are all on there with us.
Yeah,
so it makes for a good couple of sessions there.
No, absolutely. I think I'm, like I said, I'm committing on the video that I will be attending one of them sessions at some point, even if it's one of your long runs. Hopefully it's a pace you don't drop me.
When you're down, just drop in.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'll get that on record. But I think parkrun is certainly one that's back. But I think, going slightly off topic, I think it's one of these where the crowds are back at football. We did see the Olympics without a crowd as such or anything like that. I think in Tokyo it was a bit understandable, but we started to see people go back to athletics meetings in the UK, and to be fair, around Europe. I mean, some of the Europe meetings were stacked, weren't they, in terms of competition, but also the crowds. They were just absolutely stacked, weren't they?
Yeah, that's what it makes a big difference to sport. Even if your team's losing or whatever, it's still it just makes a whole difference to the game. It's a whole new ball game when you've got fans. Yeah,
I mean, I didn't see the Community Shield. I mean, I loved that Leicester one, if I'm honest. But we can't beat that. But was it full attendance at Wembley? I honestly don't know.
Well, I think it could have been, but Man City have been there so many times, so obviously they didn't take a full lot, and I don't think Leicester did either. Because they're never that cheap of a day out, but still, there was still a good attendance. Yeah. Probably as big as what's been in there, officially anyway.
Yeah, I think so.
Had a few more fans in there than what was.
Well, yeah, you saw all the bloody videos, didn't you? I mean, there's just loads of people running in there and all that. It's just, I mean, it's unbelievable. But actually, because it was, how can I put it? Some of the videos that you saw looked like it was just a load of the Italian fans starting a load of stuff, but actually it was England fans trying to keep back England fans that were trying to get in the stadium, which didn't have tickets. It was crazy. It was absolutely madness, and I think it just shows sometimes the culture of people when they're absolutely pissed, and I can't stand that. I mean, that's one thing I won't. When I'm with lockdown and all that, it seemed like people wanted to act normally, but then all of a sudden, I mean, like I said, the Scots come down in the Euros. I think that's the first time we properly saw that, and then obviously crowds just started going in pubs, and it just got nuts, didn't it? It just really did.
But I think, like, in hindsight, they'd probably just been just as well, just to sold 90,000 tickets and just got on with it.
Yeah, I agree because I mean, at the end of the day, the COVID cases absolutely soared because the Scots come down, and but it is what it is, I think. But I think you're right in hindsight in the fact that actually, if they'd have all been in the stadium, it'd have been kind of the same scenario. Yeah.
But
I think.
We look at talking COVID, and you look at hospitalisations. I think like now with the park runs coming back, more people have been affected. Well, hundreds of thousands of people affected with mental health, and you can see the improvement in people with it.
Oh, 100%. I think, and this is why I'm hoping to get back in the group soon, because I think, I think over the last couple of episodes that I've done, I think I've openly admitted I've struggled the last few weeks. I don't really know why, if I'm honest. It's one of these where, work's absolutely manic, home life's manic, but that, home life's always manic. You got kids, so you absolutely know that. And then trying to fit all your running in, because like I said, it's hard to think, because sometimes I'm back running 6 times a week, and actually that takes a lot of time. And is it being selfish, or is it just I've got to try and get the balance right? And I think you running early doors, and I think, like I said, I used to do my long runs early doors as well, and I think it frees up the day to spend it with the family, doesn't it?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, like yesterday, I've done 18 miles by 8:40, so sort of like
It's your day, innit?
Got a whole day there, really, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And so I did get that, and to be honest with you, now I kind of cut the alcohol, if that makes sense. And I said, I'm not going teetotal. I had a glass of rosé last night, but I don't want it, if that makes sense. I had to really fancy that, which is quite a step, because I just grab a can of Foster's without even thinking about it. And now I'm just going on to the zeros, which they take, most of them taste nice. And actually the alcohol content is, well, it's nothing. So it's not really kind of getting to me, if that makes sense. I don't really know if that did make sense, but it's just more like, it kind of really, the alcohol kind of really makes you reflect in a bad way.
It doesn't say it's a short-term fix. It might give you a little lift for a bit, but then you feel bad the next day after. And I'd say you're much better if you really want to have a go at the running again. You got to make the sacrifices, and that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. And to be fair, the easy runs feel easier now, because you're not having to work twice as hard to shift the alcohol before you can actually get into your running, if that makes sense. It's really weird. And not that I've weighed myself. I mean, I don't even know what I weigh, but actually I can certainly tell a difference in my body. I do feel lighter. To be honest, I probably aren't lighter, because like I say, I've been on the punch bag, and I've been obviously running, doing some efforts and all that as well, so that would have turned to muscle a little bit. But the body's definitely changing, which is obviously a good thing. It's a good sign. But I think the fact that things are getting easier and the lungs feel easier, the legs are going to follow. It's at that point where it's a turning point. And I think last week I just had to have an easy week, because I started to get tired, and before I wouldn't have actually listened to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. You do learn with these things when to take a bit of a back step, but it's still, even if it's like running, it's still training. It's all having its benefit.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? It's only 25 miles last week, which look, grand scheme of things is not great, but actually, if you look at the previous weeks, I mean, I've done nearly 50 miles the previous 2 weeks, and then instead, it gradually built up over the course of like 8 weeks, and I realized it was 8 weeks before I had a real break. So I'll take that, if I'm honest. So but I mean, in terms of, like I said, we talked about your park run and all that. I mean, what about the rest of your training? Everything going good?
Yes. As I say, I'm doing 6 days like yourself, which I was doing 7 from like December till the end of May, and it's just too much, really. You do need at least one day in there just to let yourself recover a bit.
Yeah.
So I'll just sort of keep an eye on it. Whether I need another one, I don't know. But I feel good at the moment. I feel quite sharp, and I've got to put an effort in.
Yeah.
Had 1 or 2 niggles the other week, but they seem to have eased off. So you sort of like, it's just about getting the same with everything, balance.
Yeah, and how often do you run easy, if that makes sense? 'Cause I know you obviously do you smash out your track session and you smash out a park run, which is two of them obviously flat out. Is the rest of it quite easy for you? I mean, obviously
Yeah,
pace wise, we're going to be different at the moment, but what would you kind of say you ran at easy, if that makes sense?
yeah. Monday's an easier run. Tuesday evening, Wednesday's just a track. Yeah, Thursday's got at least one thrown in there easy as well. So yeah, it's probably 3 hard sessions and probably a long run, and then 3 easier ones. So it's quite a good balance, really.
Yeah.
Not,
I mean, what sort of pace do you do your easy run, if you don't mind me asking?
easy run or the longer
Sorry?
run.
Longer run. Sorry. Yeah.
Longer run can sort of be it's on feel, really. So
Yeah.
sometimes it can be over 7-minute mile, and other weeks at under, just depending on our feel.
Yeah.
And a lot of the easy stuff is it's usually around about 7 or can be higher if I'm running with Stanley or whatever on a Tuesday. So it's not all that fresh, which is
I think for me, because I'm kind of like judging my easy run pace at the moment. I mean, because like I said, my flat out stuff just isn't really quick at the moment, so I'm kind of relative, if that makes sense. But yeah, my easy run's kind of about 7.5, even just a tad slower than that. I do like a very easy hour, which is just shy of 8 minutes. I've kind of used my long run as a bit of a session, if that makes sense, because I always find that when I run outside, I find it easier to run quicker, if that makes sense. So without pushing it, I've been able to do a long run around 7:20, sometimes 7:15s, which is pretty decent. But I've had to compensate in the week with some very easy runs, if that makes sense. So I do it that way, and whether that will continue to happen that way, I don't know. But like I said, I vary the treadmill, I vary the road as well. Possibly going back on the track as well this week. So we'll see. I mean, to be honest with you, I've got a 2K steeplechase coming up at the end of this week. So that's just a pure experiment, that one. I'm not going to be. I wouldn't have a clue what a good time is, if I'm honest. It's just I want to see what it's like, and see if it's an event choice going forward.
Yeah, it's a specialist event, that's for sure. I'll say I've tried it, and it was not for me.
Yeah, I think it depends if you can hurdle. I mean, because I used to do, well, I didn't take it seriously, but at the Southern Men's League, I used to do 400 hurdles, and I was all right. I was all right. I'd done a decent 400 hurdles. Technique wasn't great, but actually, I know I can clear it, and it's the same. It's the same height. It's effectively the same height. So I think I'll get a couple of warm-up laps in. I mean, hence the warm-up laps being the first 2 laps, perhaps. And then I might end up having an attempt at actually hurdling and see what happens.
The 2 barriers, you'll probably be fine with. This that water jump is the thing.
Oh, you got to put your feet on. Yeah, you got to put your feet on that one. Simple as that.
Yeah.
It's you just got to put your feet on and leap over. But there's been a couple of injuries around the water jump the last few. I mean, you got the Olympic Games where I can't remember her name. The Aussie athlete, she literally landed off the water jump and snapped her Achilles. That looked awful. Yeah. But it's been a couple of accidents off the water jump recently, which fills me with confidence.
Well, I got chucked into one in the Southern Athletics League, and I was just literally totally out of my depth. Just about got over the first hurdle, fell in the water jump, and then landed on my rib on the third one and out. So I'd lost about 300 meters.
Nice. Fantastic. That's good. So I'll see if I can last more than 300 meters. Yeah.
So then I still had to do the relay after with sort of.
Dodgy rib and all that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you just end up doing everything in that and them events, don't you? If you're a distance runner.
Yeah, I think I'm quite lucky where actually St Albans have got a decent depth, and we're okay with that, especially the Vets League. I mean, it's one of these where we're actually quite blessed with vets and quite decent ones. So I'm actually struggling. I mean, this year it's more of a friendly league because they haven't really known what the competition is going to be like. But next year, actually, I'm going to struggle to be a scorer in some events because 3K, we've got some decent athletes. We've got some real decent ones. And then, so yeah, it is what it is on that front. But yeah.
I've just always seemed to be unlucky when I've done track events. I've ended up doing the 8:15 3K and then both relays.
Stop that.
Or in the Vets League, I've done a 1500 finished and then had to line up straight after for 400.
So you literally finish and then give me a minute.
Yeah.
Did you go on the first leg?
No, it's literally a 400 race. Actually doing
400 race.
Yeah, doing a fit. I think I did a 15 and I don't know, around about. I was running obviously all right then. Did about a 420.
Yeah.
And then lined up and did a 58 or 59 400 straight after.
I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I was probably 7 or 8 years younger then, which helps, but still.
It's still impressive. I mean, the 420 1500 is pretty decent. I mean, do you do any of like the master stuff, the senior stuff, or anything like that?
About 5 years, but I got down at 416 at the 15 doing it in the masters, but that was a mix of doing Southern Athletics as well.
Yeah.
But I could never do a good time in them because that was always the third event of the day. I'd always do the 8 and the 3K and then the 15. So
yeah, and I think with the Southern Athletics League as well, it's actually it kind of depends because I mean, again, it's kind of a different scenario for me because I'm going to be a bit smarter this time because I just know I can't do 2-3 events in one go. I can't do that anymore. So I just say, look, I'll come and do my event, and once my event's done, if I need to fill in for a relay or jog around, that's fine. But I think my main event's got to come first, if that makes sense. I'll be pretty screwed if I'm a 400-meter hurdler because that's always at the start, isn't it? But so no, I think and it's just kind of getting ready for a season, which for me, now that they've decided that the Chiltern League's going fully ahead, I'm buzzing with that because now I've got actually a date to aim for, and I'll actually start tapering for that date because I feel I'd have been doing a hell of a lot of training to get to that. Which so I'm looking at that. I mean, have you got like a season plan? I mean,
I've just the first plan is I was stuck on 243 park runs for however long, and I thought I want to get 250.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's just been sitting there. So I'm on at 246 now. So I want to get there and then probably look at races later on in the year. Probably get a holiday out of the way in October and then probably do something in November.
Yeah, because is there like a Norfolk Road Racing League this year? Have they got one of them?
No, that's not till January. So
is it not? Okay.
But there's some tough races in that. I mean, you start off with like 10 miles on a tough course, and then you're looking at 20 miles at Wyndham and all sorts of races like that, and then loads of 10Ks in the summer, which can be really. I've been doing some of them in like high 20s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's not always that much fun, but it's a good challenge all through the year.
Yeah. Do you, have you done Wyndham 20? Have you done that before?
Yeah, I've done that twice.
Yeah, I quite like that race. I think I don't know if I'll do it next year. If I'm honest, I'm not sure what event I'm going to be doing. But I love the Wyndham 20. It was one that just failed to break 2 hours 1 year there. I was just literally, I think I was like 2 hours and 19 or something like that. And I was gutted because I was under it all the way, and then the wind picked up. I was just pissed off.
I ran a couple of 159s there both times, which they were very close. Times were literally seconds apart, but 4 years apart.
Yeah, that's good.
But I did enjoy that. I always like running there. I don't know why. It's a bit up and down, but it's just a nice place to run. Whether it's a 20 miles or 10K, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think these kind of up and down courses. I mean, obviously Stanford's bloody hilly, isn't it? The Stanford 30K. But yeah, you got some hilly undulating courses. But actually, if you then go and do a pan flat marathon after that, you're laughing, in you, because I think you've got all that strength training in you, and I think you can get to a point where actually, if there's a mild uphill, if you've got strong lungs, so you've done the efforts, actually, you can probably maintain that for a good while before it starts to hurt. and then you obviously got the downhills and the flats, which you just maintain it, which it's good. It's good to really get onto that. But yeah, I mean, cross country leagues in your kind of area, is the Sholdens ones going ahead and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think they're going ahead. But in previous years, it's sort of turned into more of a Riston Club Championship. There's not really been many people come from away anymore. Like used to get loads from Norwich and stuff. I think with so much going on the same sort of dates, not really been too many gone over for it. I used to actually enjoy doing the frostbites back in the day.
I forgot about that. I can't remember the last time. I had a real bad one. I mean, I think it was the first ever frostbite league I did. I think it was it was embarrassing at the time because I had was it the Citizen? Had the Citizen and the Peterborough paper interview me. They interviewed 4 athletes at the time. There was me, John Herbert, what's his name, Pete Gulpin, and a couple of others. They got a couple of people from different clubs.
Yeah,
they interviewed us because they thought we had the best chance, and I absolutely died a death on that first race because it was a 5 miler on like hard grass. It was undulating. The Riverside course because it's up and down.
It's sort of all the bits and
I died a death.
Yeah.
I did not handle that very well at all, and like I said, I went off like the clappers. Don't know why. I just didn't have a good rate. That was one of my embarrassing ones. But yeah, I think going back to the frostbite, actually, it's a good league, isn't it?
Yeah, Bourne Woods I thought was always a challenge. That was the toughest one, and also Hinching Country Park is always a challenge. I never knew what to wear on my feet there.
Yeah, because you can't really wear spikes, can you? Or
you've got a bit of road and stuff as well thrown in. It's. I think one year I just ran in spikes with no spikes, just because that was the best. I couldn't run in racing flats, so I just took the spikes out. I think John Huff told me to do it. He said, just do that, and then you can run on the road, and then on the and it weren't too muddy, and that worked all right that day.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
But I did it another time and in flats, and I was falling all over the place.
Yeah,
it was just awful. So yeah, that is trouble with some of them to know what to do. But Bourne Woods, that was one that was a total cross country.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember one year this horse coming at me out of nowhere and absolutely bricking it.
Well, what do you do?
Sort of like, that weren't quite as good time as but it affected everyone. I think it was like 5 or 6 runners ahead, and then we had these horses just appear out of nowhere, and luckily they got them under control quickly. Yeah. But it was a bit of a worry for a moment when they're jumping up in the air.
Oh God, my daughter's getting into horses. I mean, obviously, my wife's a very horsey person, and my daughter's getting into horses and doing competitions and all that. I mean, I don't know what the bloody head or tail is, to be honest. It's just like they scared the hell out of me. And my daughter's got into it, and so I'll go and watch the shows. But then when my wife asked me to hold one the other day. Well, not hold one, but hold the rope and all that. And I was just like, what do I do here? If it starts going, what do I do? It's not like a dog, is it?
I was on a long run the other week, and I saw some actually out having a ride on the road around here, and I literally crept up the outside of them so they didn't see me, just sort of and passed them quick, so they didn't in case they kicked off or anything. I was just gone. And the woman said, I didn't even hear you. I said, yeah, that was my plan, to get past you and out of the way quick.
Yeah.
Have a nice ride sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Because you just never know what's going to happen. And I mean, do they still have horses? Because they've got, I think it's all paved now, if I'm not mistaken. But you've got like the cycle track from Kings Lynn to Downham following the River Ouse. Is it all paved now, or is it just styles and stuff like that? Yeah,
I think it's styles and stuff like that. Yeah,
because they had a load of like wild horses down there. Because
that's right, and cows and all that. I try and avoid that. I've run this Peter Scott run over here, Sutton Bridge,
Yeah.
And I've only been out 5 miles because there's just fields full of them, and they're just like, they don't move and they just stare at you, and you think, right,
You're smaller than me. Yeah.
All right, they'll run alongside you, but then you see the cows and they just like, they look like they could kill you. So I thought, like, nah.
Yeah, I think
I think I was planning a 20 miler, and I think I ran 5 miles backwards and forwards twice, so I didn't have to run through the cows.
Oh, nice. I think I've done plenty of bloody runs. I think I remember running with Steve. Is he still running? I don't know. It's Steve Neal. Do you know him? It would have been Nicky.
RAF person, yeah, I do. I know his wife more, yeah. But,
it's Nicky Neal now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to do a couple of training runs with Steve Neal, and we went out one way and went past a load of cows. I mean, look, because we was with each other, we was a bit braver. But we went through this field, and all of a sudden we kind of got through, the stiles there. This big old bull with massive horns was looking at us, and I was just like, that could have hurt us. That could have like come right at us. And so we was like, we put another 3 miles on, we're not going back that way. So we ended up doing, so I can't remember how old I was. I think I was I'd have been 16, 17 at the time, and I ended up doing like an 18 miler. Bearing in mind I was an 800 meter runner at the time. He killed me. But I think
you have a red vest. If you see one of them, you turn into a matador, don't you?
I'm quite lucky that I don't wear a red vest, but I think I'm quite lucky with that one. I didn't wear the West Norfolk Club vest at the time, let's put it that way. But no, I think that was the first kind of time I got a glimpse of how I really needed to get quick, because I was getting quick at the time, but Jesus, some of the sessions at Steve Neal, and there was Ian Bailey at the time as well. There was 3 of us training with each other. Jesus Christ, it was one of these where we ended up doing like I think it was 400s. It was about 60 seconds recovery, and bearing in mind the 400s were about, at that time would have been, I don't know, 6. We was running the 800 meter pace, so they'd have been like 15, 58, 59, 60. I cramped up on not cramped up, but I just like died of death. Literally, what's happened there? Hang on. That's better. I died of death on the 3rd one, and then so I missed the 4th one. Then we'd done a shitload of 200s at the same kind of pace, or faster and flat out, and hung in there. And that was the hardest session of my life. I remember it to this day. I remember suffering so bad. I never felt anything like it, and I thought, if that's what it takes, Jesus Christ.
I think when you start, if you're focusing on like an 800 and you do the proper training, I've done it myself, and it kills you. It's harder than any session you'll do, because it's just so full on. There's just no breathing, no break in there at all.
No, exactly. And I'll just remember that to this day. That was my hardest session, I think. And I don't know. I think it took me another week to the I think the next track session the following Tuesday. I think it took me that long to recover. It was just absolutely.
You'd probably rather run a marathon than an 800.
No, I mean, to be fair, I mean, look, they're hard all in their individual ways. I think I remember Michael Johnson saying, look, training for an 800 is your killer, because he used to do like longer reps for his 400 meters. So he was doing like 500, 600 meter reps. And he said that, bloody hell, the 800 meters runners, they've got to have sometimes the speed of a 400 meter runner, but then they've got to have the endurance of a 1500. And that includes miles and stuff like that. I mean, I remember doing that training. I just think, how did I do it? How did I do that? So but no, I think I was that was when he was young. I think now I'm kind of like getting older, if that makes sense. You just got to look after it a bit more, or do more training. I'll obviously get better again, but you just got to look after yourself a bit more now, haven't you?
That's right. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, you got anything planned this week? Well, I mean, what's the plan for this week?
Obviously tomorrow night, there's usual Renegades, and then track Wednesday. Then probably another park run Saturday. I would think.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Long run Sunday.
Yeah, be another longer one, and then the gears here then the week after.
Yeah. So you're doing gear, are you?
I haven't then. No. I've done the course a couple of times. I've changed the course again. And there seems to be lots of unnecessary turns.
Oh, okay. So they've kind of like so they still go around the walks, I'm assuming, but
yeah, it's more out of town a bit, and I counted about 17 turns, which is quite a lot, really.
Yeah, because I'll always remember, because you kind of like get on the straight of the Tuesday marketplace, you get your rhythm, and all of a sudden you're kind of like turning again, then you go rounds, and then you're down by the riverfront, then you're turning again. It's just, I remember it. It's
you do a bit of town early doors, but by 3K it's all through the walks, then back out of town, all through South Lynn, and you go literally up to sort of West Lynn.
Yeah.
And then back. The best part of the course is you're on the riverbank back for the last 2K, and then back down the docks. That's probably the best bit. You get a quick 2K there at the end. But if you've lost time with all the turns and everything up to it, it's not going to help matters, is it? And if you get the headwind in your face coming back, you've had it anyway, which you can get on that riverbank.
Oh Jesus, yeah. It's either still as anything, or it just it's blowing a gale, isn't it? You know what that's like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, I've done a 5 miler tonight. It was just nice and easy on the treadmill. Had a long day, so I didn't get the rounds in on the bag that I wanted to, so I didn't get my cross training in, unfortunately. Probably, hopefully going to be up the track tomorrow. If not, then it'll be another one. Then Wednesday just get me easy hour. Well, I say easy hour, I might actually up it a little bit now, because my longer runs are getting longer. I think the easy hour should perhaps get a little bit longer as well, but see how that goes. And then Saturday is D-Day with a steeplechase. I've got new spikes for it as well. I got nice. So we'll give it a go, and then I'll do a bit of analysis afterwards, either with a broken leg or happy that I've got round.
Just don't drown, that's all.
Don't drown. Absolutely. I mean, we didn't even mention that you stacked it on a park run, mate. You stacked it.
Oh yeah, that as well. Yeah. So that could have been probably round about what I did last week, or 16 tennis possibly that week.
Yeah,
but it's just one of them things. Just get up and get on with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, I'd probably have done the Ronaldo roll a little bit, do 3 rolls, play dead for a minute, and then get up again and slowly jog. Oh man. Okay, cool. Well,
finish.
What's that, mate? Sorry.
Yeah. I said I sort of swear under my breath, get up and finish.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
and then moan about it after.
Yeah, you just throw your bag down. That's pretty much what you do, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I've done. Just literally do it, and I was like, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I'm going to get something to eat, and then I've got an early start at work tomorrow, so I'll leave it there. But it's good to talk to you again, mate. I think we'll get another one in next week if you can.
And good to see all your videos if you're coming back. It's good. It's a good little journey.
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, it's the only problem that we've got is it's just bloody raining out, so I can't even keep the phone with me half the time, because at the minute it's just like even me on the treadmill or doing a review of it. Actually, I need to be out there, perhaps do like a minute or two just like out with the phone running, talking and stuff like that. I think at the minute it's just been a bit like that, but yeah, we'll see. We'll keep it going, and hopefully we'll start seeing some progress.
Yeah, I think you are already, to be honest with you.
Cool. No, that sounds good. So I'll start pushing on. But all right, bud. Yeah. Nice to speak to you, mate, and I'll speak to you soon. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You have a good week. Yeah.
And you, mate.
Cheers,
see you later. Cheers, mate. Bye.